Hey, it's Amanda from LHL Organizing. And if you've been watching lately, you've noticed I've been doing an extreme minimalist push, we're gonna say. So I took very specific areas and I worked on trying to go extreme in each one. So in some of the spaces, I had a better vision of what that would look like. And in other spaces, I really didn't. I was just trying to see how much further I could go. So I'm going to walk through the pros and cons and kind of review the whole process that I actually started several months ago, thinking I was only going to do maybe like 3 different areas and then do a wrap up. And instead, it's been 10 videos so far. So I had joined an extreme minimalist group, and some people were showing, a lot of people were ambitious to be extreme minimalists. And so a lot of people were not posting their own pictures, right? Some other people were posting pictures of different rooms and being like, hey, I went extreme minimalist in this room, this is what it looks like, but I don't know how to do the same thing in a different room. I don't consider myself an extreme minimalist. It's important to note that. I think what I'm doing is essentially getting back to the amount of stuff that this house in the 1950s was designed to hold. So it's not extreme in the lifespan of a lot of people. And it's extreme for how we live these days. But it is really not like a backpack minimalist. I own a home. I have things that I have to maintain the home. So I would consider myself to be minimalist, especially in the mindset, but I would not consider myself to be an extreme minimalist. My 1950s 2-bedroom home with 1 bathroom, a kitchen, dining room, living room, all on the main level, and then an unfinished basement originally, right, with a backup bathroom system in there, as well as all of your hardware, and the washer dryer would have been downstairs. So if you think about this home, it's only 800 square feet on the main level, and you'd have a little bit less on the lower level, and it's also half finished right now. But this home in the 1950s was designed essentially for a 4-person household. So it'd be parents and 2 children. Now the 2 children would have to share a bedroom in that scenario, but they would have 1 bathroom up to 4 people. And I'm sitting here going, all of my stuff is occupying every bit of storage space. And while some things would overlap between people, but in reality, there has to be more room for other people. So I was really just looking for if I'm gonna fit 1 other person into these common spaces, right? Somebody that has their own food requirements, somebody that has their own toiletries. How can we make space for another human being? Because 1 person in 800 square feet for a home in the 1950s that was built for 4, it's a little bit nuts, right? I should be able to easily make room for other people. So that was my mindset and goal going into this challenge in the first place. I think that's important, right? Episode 1 was the entertainment center. And I stored everything from the entertainment center in the downstairs. Okay, that's not fair. I got rid of some stuff right away. My game board went nuts. I had people kind of really fighting for it, so to speak. But I ultimately gave that away to somebody who was able to pick it up at the right time. From the entertainment center, I pulled out 2 decks of cards, a whole bunch of different DVD series, and I don't think that we really need to go through this. I am going to give this set to my sister, however, because it's a collectible that I think she said she can't even get anymore, or it's marked up, and she loves Ticket to Ride. I think it's her goal in life to own every single version. Something's out of place and it's not sitting right, but we'll have to fix that. So I'm not going to donate that one to the public. It's going to go to my sister. We'll have to figure that out. And I gotta say, this is actually a little bit hard for me from the entertainment center, because I don't know why. It's not like I have like that deep of a history with Markland, but the fact that it was specifically a Markland Ticket to Ride, really appealed to me. And it's Germany, which I took a German speaking class and learned a little bit about the geography and whatnot of Germany. I really liked it, but the game is different, and so I don't actually enjoy playing the game, nor do I actually have people to play with. So I'm gonna donate it to my sister, give it to her, whatever. Maybe it's her birthday present. I don't want to hang on to it that long, but we'll figure it out. There's some workout stuff for my, is it a workout package? I think these are all workout videos for my reformer, which I haven't dug out. I don't think these videos are available online. And I don't remember if I looked into if there's YouTube training on reformer stuff. I do have like little, does that even belong in there? It seems like it doesn't belong in there. Does it belong in here? Nope. I don't know what the deal is. Okay. So the Pilates reformer, I just haven't used. I really like Star Trek, but I found it's available on, I think it was Amazon, so I can still watch it. So these things, I'm pretty confident in my choices, even though like Burn Notice, love that series, but again, I can find most of them online for free. And I kept the ones that I really, really love still, so I'm not like without stuff for when the internet's down, which does happen. So the only thing that I'm hesitating on now is the Aero Pilates. It hasn't been my workout of choice just as of late. And obviously we mean like the last 3 months. So I did this first and I don't even remember the date. I should have looked that up before I started recording. But my intention was to let it sit in a quarantine box for only a month and then make a decision. And it's been 3 months and I hadn't pulled these out yet. I think very often I don't even bother using a video. Okay, I don't want to brain fart here, so we're going to hang on to all of them for now. And the rest of these are going to go. And I really don't know how we'll get rid of them, but that's a problem for tomorrow. Episode 2, the bathroom. And the bathroom's where I had the clearest vision of what I wanted. So I had 2 things of bathroom things that I kept. One was a whole tub or a little bin basket, cute little basket of bath stuff. So if I was gonna take a bath. Well, I don't do that often, but it's just bath stuff. So it's not a lot of things. I figured I'd just keep it in the laundry room. It needs more time for me to know if I use any of that stuff. But I have been using the other scrubby thing as my squeegee, and that's worked just fine, so we can get rid of the squeegee thingy. We have some makeup and, well, this is actually a laundry bag, so that I should have kept down there. But I have several old makeups. So this is blush that I used to use. This is an eyebrow pad. But I use my eyeshadow for that now. And then this was I think it was a sunscreen base. I left one in my travel pack, I think, but pulled this one out and the sunscreen for the face. I don't know, like when I was in the mountains, I just used body sunscreen on my face. It wasn't that big a deal. And when I'm here, I haven't been putting sunscreen on my face, which hasn't been that big a deal because I haven't been out for excessive periods of time. And then I pulled this brush out of the kit so that I could make room for, I think, the eyelash thing. Yeah, the eyelash thing. And so I haven't noticed it missing. And then my hair cream for spiking my hair, which you can see didn't need. So, and I much prefer it when it's, you know, product free. So yeah, those are going, but I think the brush I could donate probably, but the rest of this just has to be trash, even the squeegee. So I maybe ought to use the squeegee until it's worn out. And then we'll donate the brush. All right, what was next? In episode 3, we did jewelry, the jewelry cabinet. So I have a big mirror full of jewelry. And it wasn't completely full, but it's insane. I don't use that much jewelry, and I knew it. So jewelry. Jewelry was a surprisingly difficult category for me. I honestly don't tend to value things that other people value the way they value them. And I sorry. I don't tend to value things that other people value, but I do have this lingering pull, like, oh, I should value this. So unfortunately, I was gifted a decent amount of jewelry that was from family, and it was never the right size when they gave it to me, and I didn't fix it. Or like, my birth month is June. A lot of them bought me pearls because pearl was considered the birth stone for June. There's another one too, the pink one. I don't remember what it's called, but pretty much everybody gave me pearls. But I don't really, that doesn't go with my style. So I never connected to these things much at all. So anyway, that's kind of where we're at there. I also, in my brain, we're going to do a deeper dive into jewelry because that wound up being more complicated than I expected. But I definitely had that issue of I thought I paid way more for it than I actually did, and then I thought it was therefore a lot more valuable than it really was. And that's a complex, tricky thing too. So that one I was having a harder time letting go of things that were valuable, whereas the easy, cheap things actually work better for me, but I have no trouble getting rid of them if they're not working for me. So I have a bunch of those that I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of over on the left-hand side. And then in the middle-ish area, kind of to the right, are the valuable stones, which tend to be sapphire, pearl, and jade. Yeah, I've got a lot of jade. So there's gold, silver, I have some topaz in there, and I don't know what this pink stone is on the earrings, but on these earrings, I don't know what the pink is, but you know, that's not that big a deal. I also have these copper and topaz, which, you know, they were nice. I like how they look. I just don't end up wearing them because of the watch. And the watch is a lot of my issue with tons of my jewelry because I like wearing a watch. And I would wear this one if it weren't for the Fitbit. But I'm more of a nerd than I am a style enthusiast. And so I'm more of a nerd than I am a style enthusiast, and so I would prefer to have the data than to have the pretty piece. So that's just who I am, which leads me to say, no, a lot of this has got to go. So I have a ton of jewelry that we're going to part with, and I'm going to try to sell a bunch of it, but quite a bit of this I'm going to just donate right off the bat. That's mostly everything on the left side. So I'm gonna dive into the jewelry later. So this is the category where I definitely have more hesitation. It was more difficult to go through in the first place, and I have pulled back some stuff. Yeah, so I had some things that were also in that cabinet, like glasses. So I have some red lens glasses as well as some blue light blue light blocking glasses, right? So I'm just gonna give those away as well. And these horns that you can wear, and a purse. You didn't see me go through the purse, guys, but I have opted to get rid of the Brahmin purse because I checked, my current laptop will not fit in it. And I think the previous one wouldn't either. it was 3 laptops ago that would fit in it, and so it's not even going to serve the purpose I bought it for anymore. And then this bag I actually got for free. I would like to sell a few things and get a little bit of money, but it is what it is. So a lot of that stuff is going to go. I didn't bring anything back in the odd category except the bag that I put over my old glasses. I am going to bring that back as a protector for when my new glasses, if I need to take them off and put them in my purse. It just gives a little protection on the lenses. So that's the only thing I'm pulling back. So episode 4 was plants, indoor plants. I really don't have much outdoor plants. Like, they ripped the landscaping out to replace the roof, so it's basically plants. But the stuff you need for indoor plants, and I didn't really do supplies, I just did plants. And a lot of that had to do with they were annoying me. And so I knew my life would be simpler and easier with fewer. So that's why we did that one. And my vision for that really was the ease of maintenance. And some of them did not like living here. And I don't know what their issue was. But like the ponytail plant was struggling. And it was a very healthy plant when it was given to me. And I don't like those plants that grow up, kill everything below, and will never fill in again. I don't even know how you're supposed to keep them pretty. But they don't really allow for a lot of mistakes and still being pretty. So I wanted to get rid of it. I offered it back to my mom, and she did take it. Her big her big ponytail plant had died already. I think even when she gave me that, we knew it was dying. But I think hopefully she'll appreciate having another one. I don't know for sure, but she has that one. And then I offered the aloe, which was frustrating me, to a friend. And I gave her some of the propagations of my snake plant, but not all of them. The spider babies, we dealt with the spider babies. So everything that was sturdy enough to grow on its own, I gave to her. So they were adolescent spider plants. And I repotted them, gave them fertilizer, and prepped them for her because she's trying to keep them alive in a basement window. And so the little babies weren't able to grow in that spot. And so my hope was I could get them to that hardier level and pass them off to her. I don't know if that's working, but that was the plan. And now my mom's spider plant, where these came from, the mother plant, is struggling. So hopefully this all works out and that plant recovers too and starts putting out babies. I think it has been putting out some babies, so it's not super unhappy. It's just didn't like the adjustment. And the littler ones I gave to somebody on the Buy Nothing group that was asking for some plants, I think. So yeah, we did get rid of a lot of plants. And what I did keep was largely my snake plant that I had to do a lot of cutting up. So there were a lot of damaged leaves, and I attempted to propagate the leaves. We're still in the process of that. And I would say it's mostly not going well. Even the one that I've just stuck in the dirt, which in the past has worked well for me, doesn't seem to be working right now. So I don't know how that's going to turn out. These other ones, they were bending and trying to grow roots out of the middle, and so I separated them and we're water rooting them, and they are growing roots, so I think those are going to turn out okay, but then I'm going to have to figure out how to plant them back in with everything again. So I don't want to have multiple pots of that plant in the end, but we're still in transition on the snake plants especially. And then from my friend that's been trying to grow plants in the basement window, she returned a pothos that's down to 1 leaf. And I'm attempting to water root it. I think it would have worked, except I accidentally cut off a good root that was feeding the plant, and I didn't realize that. So it still has a root, but now it's struggling again. So we'll see if that one survives. The other thing is the dumb cane, and I would have happily taken care of it, but it has not been happy since it moved here. I think ever since my mom repotted it, it hasn't been happy because there were 3 of them in there. Lost the first one almost right away, and then the second one just steadily died, and this last one is steadily dying. And I had centered it in the pot, and things just got worse. So I don't know, but we're about to lose that plant. Episode 5 was my hobby electronics. So I had a whole like circuit board building kit. I enjoyed the breadboards section of my college experience when I was doing computer engineering. I didn't ultimately finish that. I switched paths and became an industrial engineer, but I had all of this computer component stuff that it's like, in theory, I would really enjoy it, but not enough that I was doing it over other things, right? I decided to just pack up that whole set of everything. So the soldering iron and all of the electronic breadboard components and the individual ones I had for a living wall concept. I basically gave it all away. So I haven't gotten it to the recipient yet. It's sitting in my mom's garage. We were going to get together for my sister's 40th birthday, and then everybody got sick with that horrible vomiting thing over the holiday, and it didn't happen. So we're still working on that, but it's all in one box and it's at my mom's waiting to go to my sister's friend. So it'll make it there eventually. It's out of my house. I have nothing to show you. I kept a couple of little wrap tie things and a couple of shrink tubes, and I haven't yet had a need for either. I was able to fix the lights. I think I recorded that too, and we haven't done anything with that recording either, but I was able to fix that. Or no, it's in there. It's in there. Yeah, I was able to fix that. It was quite a disaster, but we fixed it. And I don't know if I'll be able to really do much with the tubes without, you know, I might be throwing them away too. I don't know, whatever. Here we are. So electronics are gone. Then category 6 was the kitchen, because a lot of people were asking that in the group. And so, you know, it's like, well, maybe I can go further in the kitchen. Let's see what's going to happen there. And if I could free up some full shelves, that gives somebody else some space too. So it still fits my goal. So we did that. Kitchen as number 6. I went through quite a bit of stuff. I think I got rid of a lot, but this is a category where I really did heavily rely on the quarantine bin. And I speak as if it's one bin, but you'll see it's not. Multiple bins. We've got one cardboard box full of cookware that was really expensive. And so that too, having a little trouble really truly parting with it. Also, I cook for one right now. I don't even do like big meals for leftovers, but that doesn't mean I won't occasionally need a big pot. So it's hard to know, is it worth hanging on to? So that's where I think I'm gonna have to get the final storage space. Right now, it's not hurting anything to hang on to it. But I did have to pull back 2 items, basically 3 items, but 2 are related. So I hadn't had to cook any hamburger for a while, and it turns out that all that hamburger I cooked last time went bad. I don't know if it was maybe bad in the first place. It looks like I maybe tried to salvage meat that I'd left in the fridge too long, raw in the fridge, and then ziplocked some steaks that don't look good, and the hamburger tasted nasty. I mixed it into queso, and it's like, I don't know what's up with this, but it ain't right. So I don't think it's unhealthy. You know, it's not gonna make you sick, but it wasn't good. I don't know what happened. So I'm gonna guess that it was in the fridge too long before I cooked it and then froze it. So I'm gonna have to throw out quite a bit. I had to go get more hamburger and cook that up and prep it. And it turns out I had put my colander in the basement. So I pulled that back out. And when I needed that queso the first time, I didn't have a microwavable bowl, right? I only kept that one mixing bowl that was plastic and can't be microwaved. So I had to go get the Corel bowl. And then I didn't eat it all. So I wanted to store it in the fridge. I went and got its lid later. So there we are. I pulled back 3 items: the colander, the Corel bowl, and its lid. And everything else is still quarantined in the basement. I let go quite a few things that day, and I think they are they around? Yes, they're around. So quite a few things that I already designated to go, which includes like microwavable Ziploc bags, a water bottle. I pulled out the other water bottle to let it go too. Some reusable spoons, a little pizza cutter dealing, some containers, and then some bowls and plates, Corelle bowls and plates that didn't match. And now I've added from the storage down below in the basement, the extra strainer that I have stuff that does that job, the whiskey kind of thingy that don't even remember what I used to use it for, the straw that goes to a bottle that I don't seem to have anymore, another one of those water bottle type reusable things, the Skittles cup, which works very well, but it's from a career fair thing. And then the two muffin pans that are my mom's old muffin pans. So I don't see myself using them. And those we're gonna donate, but not in this bag. I need to repack that. So that's the success of the kitchen so far. So I definitely have things down there that I'm not using yet, and I still want to give it a little more time. So 3 months, 4 months, probably closer to 3 months on that one. Not quite enough time to make a decision there. So yeah, my eating style changes every couple of years too, but I think we've settled in on a routine that pretty much works. But I am becoming more tolerant of nightshades, so this, like the mixer thing, I pretty much have it exclusively to make homemade salsa, and I might end up doing that. I don't know. Okay, lawn tools. Lawn tools were the next category, and as I said, it's because I was doing lawn work and it had me thinking about, and I tried to attach this end, this evil thing, an edger attachment. I tried to attach it to my pole, which apparently it's not even compatible, which is like, okay, this is $160 item then that I cannot use at all. That's an oops for sure. I got it for Christmas like 2 years ago, and had I checked it out a little closer to that time, I probably could have returned it for the cash, but I didn't. And so that's what had me thinking about the lawn tools. And so mostly I've done very little with that. What we did find is that there were several plant containers that I wasn't even aware I had. I did get rid of the hanging planters to my sister. That's all I have done so far. I did bring the edger in today so that I could try to list it. It's a little early. I don't know if in January anybody's thinking about buying lawn tools, but anyway, I can still take the pictures and start getting it ready. So I think I'm still gonna look for a shovel replacement, something that's in between the flathead shovel and the snow shovel, and definitely get rid of that little shovel. I just don't think it works for me. The flathead's what I need. I was gonna use it for trenching, I think, and then ultimately didn't end up doing that. So I don't know long term what we're doing in that category, but that and the extra broom, I don't really need the extra broom. So I still plan to get rid of these things. I haven't gotten rid of any of it yet, hardly. I got rid of a little bit, everything I was absolutely sure of at the time, except in the lawn tools, because we hit the holidays too fast and I just didn't get to it. So that's where we are with the lawn tools. The only thing that I'm really keeping back that I said that I was going to get rid of is the flat snow shovel, because I don't have a replacement yet. So if I got rid of it, it's my only snow shovel. And I'm still borrowing my mom's flathead shovel, but at any time she could ask for it back and I would still need a shovel. So that's where we are with lawn tools. Okay, episode 8 was books, and that's the one that I felt very embarrassed when I went and gathered all of my books together, because I really thought I was killing it in that category. I already switched to a Kindle. I really read my self-help books and my entertainment books on a Kindle, and I'm pretty much checking out from the library through Libby on the Kindle. And so I thought, I nailed this, right? But no, I still had textbooks from college, not all of them. I had already culled out quite a few, but I still had some. I also had quite a few entertainment books, which I wouldn't have guessed, and quite a bit of self-help books. So yeah, I had expected to be less, and I'm still keeping some. I need to do a video of that. I'll have to show you what I'm keeping, but I was able to cull down a lot further. So books was episode 8. In the book category, most of that stuff lived in my office, in the closet, some of it on the desk shelves, and I was able to pretty easily pick a bunch of books to go. Some are my mom's that I'm gonna have to offer back to her before I donate. And then there were 2 that I needed to do some homework on. And those books I did actually last night transfer my notes into a digital notebook, which was very easy to do because I'd highlighted really only the key things and tabbed a couple of pages. So it was very easy to summarize what I thought was important out of that book. And ironically, the very same night, something came up in a conversation that was mentioned in that book. So already became relevant too. So that's unusual. But the rest of these books, I think the textbooks, some of the textbooks are just going to be garbage, probably. A lot of the information, I kept it because it hadn't been, there isn't like a replacement for it. It's not obsolete per se. So yeah, but I don't know that anybody's going to want it. It's so specific. It's industrial engineering stuff. So anyway, that stuff I'm not sure. The rest of the books are self-help books, so I think they'll be fine. And we're going to donate those. I did offer the 75 Hard group on Facebook, the original 75 Hard book that I want to get rid of, because a lot of people have been looking for that and it's no longer being published. So they replaced it. It's not that the information's gone. They upgraded the book. It includes more things than just 75 Hard now. And so it's longer, which is a little bad for people trying to start the program. But besides that, all the rest of the books basically offer the ones that are my mom's back first, and then going to donate all the rest of them. So that's what we got in the book category. And I have not regretted anything that I put aside in the books. They were already set aside. I had basically forgotten about them. And I really can't imagine that I'm going to regret those decisions moving forward. I am quite happy that I took the time to transfer those notes over into a more readily available location electronically. So that would allow me to review what my learnings from different books a lot better. I wish I did that all the time, but usually I'm not even highlighting, so, you know, whatever. Books are gone. They will be gone. They're sitting next to me. They are going. In episode 9, that was another timely video that we were approaching Christmas, and I had been pulling out the decorations and bins for Christmas and recognizing that I have so much wrapping paper that I could probably wrap presents for the next 15 years and not get through my wrapping paper. And honestly, I don't want to be on the same kind of wrapping paper for 15 years, okay? So it was time to get rid of some stuff. So I went through cards and general stationery as well, because I'd seen this card keeper that I've had for a long time, and honestly, it did not help me stay organized with sending people cards. It did not help me remember that I already had a sympathy card that I could send to somebody. It didn't fix the problem. I just didn't use it. And so the stationery and the gift wrap was all together in episode 9. We are keeping 1 tube of 2 wrapping papers, a bunch of bags that are can be used for any holiday, so they're solids or polka dots or, you know, that kind of thing. Kind of the Amazon bags, cloth bags more so. So I have probably like 5 of those. Some of them I got from this Christmas. And then in the bottom of this box, I've added the huge one that I was going to use and didn't end up using, and 2 new ones, no, 1 new one that I got that's exclusively Christmas, and I don't like to use gift bags. I like to wrap. So it's going in the box as well. So yeah, gift wrap was simple. I used up all but one of my business 2024 cards in 2024. It was a Happy New Year's card initially, and I went that direction hoping I could keep using it throughout the year, and that wound up working out. So every new customer I sent one to. And that's what we've got that we're keeping. And I just had some more things to get rid of just because we went through Christmas since I first did that video, and so now I have some stuff. Also, in the book category, I did get a new book. I also got a new kitchen thing. So I got a can opener, an automated can opener that I added to my Christmas wish list many years ago, thinking I needed it. This one's a little bigger, which is unfortunate. It won't fit in the area as well. It does fit, but I had already removed my manual can opener to the quarantine bin still. But I have 1 new book and 1 new kitchen gadget. And then episode 10, as I mentioned before, was actually just a travel packing. How I pack minimally to go on like weekend trips. So that's all I did in episode 10. And then the episode that I haven't really created yet is my family's stuff from, old stuff that I hadn't touched in a long time from the family farm. Another category that I kind of did without you, sorry. I did the seasonal changeover of my clothes because that happened, and I don't know, I didn't want to do another video of those. I've done it before. Feel free to check it out if you want to. But I went ahead and pulled out some clothes that it's like these have survived too many rotations and they're still here and I still don't wear them. So out they go. So I had sentimental-ish things from the farm. One is a baby blanket. It's my baby blanket, and I remember it, but there's just no use for it. It's a nice little blanket still. I mean, it's kind of yellowed on the fray there. I don't know, can you see? A little yellow, not too bad. And it's got little bunnies on it, but it's in pretty good shape. And what the heck am I going to do with a baby blanket? Nothing. So I'm letting that go. And then also this thing, I kind of barely remember it. My sister has one too, and I think our grandparents bought it for us. For what reason, I have no idea, but it's like we used it to throw outside and sit on or something. So that's gonna go as well from those categories. And then I've got some stuff that I'm trying out on my shelves, my decor right now. One is, and I shot that too and also didn't make a video, and it's probably not gonna happen. So one is a little bonsai tree made of gold and white flowers, and then there's little gold bells hanging from it. And the other is a running briar horse that I got as part of my great-grandmother's estate breakup thing. We could pick a few things from some random deals, but I have no association of that. I know the horse was hers, but I have no memory of her using it or anything. So it isn't attached to her in that way. So it's probably gonna go. I might offer it to my sister. I hate doing that though, because she has a clutter problem too, but she loves briars. I don't know. I might offer it to her, and she might, if it's not there, be able to say no, but we'll see. I hate making the decision for somebody else, like them losing the opportunity, as well as if she felt pressured, because again, this is one of those things that it's like you should want to keep it, but it doesn't relate to my grandma. It's a nice looking horse. I'm using it as decor. We'll see how it goes, but probably after the season's over, off it goes. So that's the video that I haven't done yet, so, or haven't made for you guys, but I did the work already. So most of that stuff I aimed to not keep. I'm keeping a little elephant that I'm going to let the kids play with, and it's already lost an eye. If more stuff gets ripped up, it'll just go into the trash because that's where we are. And the relationship with that exchange student apparently got toasted, so what can you do? So that and a few Beanie Babies. I pulled out some Beanie Babies that I thought the niece and nephew would find fun. And the rest are here. This, my friends, is the rest of my Beanie Baby collection. Well, I did gift dinosaurs to my nephew. He loves them. He is playing with them, so somebody's getting some joy out of them. But look at this. So much time and effort into Beanie Babies. And I have more and other ones and doubles, and these are bears down here. I don't know. Dude, I don't know if anybody wants them. So I also have this headpiece that I wore in my hair for a prom. I don't think anybody's going to want it. The color's in good shape, but we're just going to... If I donate it, they're not even going to know what it is, but I might just do that anyway because I need the shit out of my house. Did I say that? I need the stuff out of my house. Question number 1 is, how confident do I feel in my decisions to let things go? In different categories, obviously, very different confidence level. So the first round of things that I actually parted with immediately, I was very comfortable. The next round, I was uncomfortable, and that's why I used a quarantine bin. So the quarantine bin kept me from having to worry about that discomfort, right? I could go ahead and dive into discomfort and see what happens. I went aggressive with what I quarantined, and I really did not feel confident about it. Like, second question, was quarantine useful? Well, obviously, yes. Yes, it was. To some degree, some of this stuff, as I went in, the timeline of doing a new category didn't allow me much time to truly get the stuff out, and I could have. So like the book category, I was confident about those decisions. I wasn't quarantining them when I made them. There was just 2 that I wanted to transfer notes over and then get rid of. But besides those 2, everything else I could have let go that day. But I was just falling behind with trying to get the next video out and all of that. And so that was an unintentional quarantine. So to some degree, the intentional quarantines I think really helped, especially when we're getting it out of the space and seeing that I can live without it and what the space looks like and getting comfortable with that extra space. Very helpful. The unintentional quarantine, not helpful, because essentially it just took up space in the corner of the room. So I can't even, not that I would use that corner that much, but I can't use that corner, and I can't easily get to other things. So the unintentional quarantine was not helpful. Get it out of the house if you're ready to make that decision, and then limit the things that you are willing to put in quarantine. Like jewelry being in quarantine was not that big a deal because it doesn't take up very much space. Kitchen is kind of a big deal, so you have to be careful how much you allow yourself to quarantine, but I get it. The decision's hard to make. You kind of need a quarantine. What areas would I still like to go through? For sure, having done my decorating for Christmas, which you won't see that video either probably, I learned that I like a lot less decoration on my shelves in the living room, so I will definitely need to cut that down. I also have been stuffing some things one by one into my sentimental bin, and it is too full. So we need to go back through that with a fresh lens and pull some more stuff out of there. The musical instruments, that's one that's going to require some bravery. I was hoping to get to some of my brass instruments at the farmhouse and deal with the whole category as a whole. I think that's not going to be realistic. There's a French horn that I lost, a friend lost. It turns out a tenor saxophone went to feeding an addict's problem. They pawned it on me or something, and it's gone. And well, those decisions were made for me, I guess, right? So those 2 are gone. Everything about them, except for maybe some music books, are gone. I was hoping to do the music as a category, and that's just not going to happen. So I'm going to have to do what I have here and deal with older stuff another time. So we do need to do that. I have a lot of sheet music that it's like one part of a concert piece. I don't know that it makes any sense to hang on to, but without that, you kind of have boring songs because the challenging stuff is often in the concert pieces. So I don't know how music fits in my life moving forward. That part is the big challenge, but I do want to get there eventually. I would like to do what I did for the books that I wanted to summarize with the work notebooks and get rid of them, and then figure out what I want to do with the planners. So that's definitely a category. I want to go through the indoor plant supplies. So I have a lot of pots and liners for pots and potting soil and fertilizer, that kind of thing. I think that pretty well sums it up. And I keep passing over the same stuff, so I don't think I want all of that. And I just need to go through that, streamline it, make it useful. Okay, so the last category that I actually would want to go through first, I'm not sure, is a freezer clear out. So I've been having the accidental avalanche thing happening quite a bit because there's quite a few pieces of food in my freezer that are keeping like the door from closing even. I had frost come in, and then I figured out what that was. That was a stupid piece of pork that I never figured out what to do with. And then I've got that all shoved up over some bacon, and the packages are all weird. And so my beef that I just cooked, the ground beef, slid off, cracked the freezer container, and I swapped it into a new freezer container, put it back in. So I definitely want to do that and clear out the stuff that I don't trust and use the stuff that I do trust that I've just forgotten is there. Make plans around that. So I definitely need to do a freezer clean out. What area did I do that I'm the most happy with the results? The answer would be the bathroom. I think the biggest reason is because I had a very clear objective and vision for how much space I needed to clear out, and it went pretty easily. Like, knowing what I needed to accomplish, it was easy to make it happen, and I haven't regretted anything I did. So that's worked out really well. That's been probably the best category. Yeah, I would say that's the most successful one. How did you get the items out of your house? Well, I didn't. We're gonna be fair. I did not get most of them out of the house. Kitchen stuff is very easy to do a buy nothing group with. I kind of keep an eye out for people where they'll be like, I'm rehoming, helping a mother-daughter move out of a shelter into their first apartment. We're looking for housewares. Well, kitchen stuff fits that quality perfectly. I don't tend to have linens, so I can't usually help in that department, but the kitchenware is a great category for me. So I'm always looking for things like that when I'm getting rid of kitchen stuff. And then there's a lady that works in a nursing home. It's not a nursing home, I don't think, a retirement community. And she's like a hairdresser at a retirement community. And she puts together this little section of things for free for people in the community. And so she really likes kind of jewelry and hair dryers and hair brushes and things like that. And so I've donated several of those things to her. So I've donated a lot of things to that lady, as well as just recently a woman does pre-made meals for the elderly, I think she said. And so she's needing like different kinds of containers to share the food with. But I donated those plus the Olive Garden food containers that I've had for soups and stuff, and I donated all those to her so that she can distribute meals to people. And I'm trying to sell a few things on, I tried to sell a few things on Buy Sell Trade, the local group. They were jerks. They were jerks. They think they want everything on pennies on the dollar, and I just got harassed for having wrong information in there, and you know, oops, but come on. I had to take the post down. So Marketplace has been a lot kinder, but still, it's a pain in the butt to sell stuff. So I'm going to keep a very small selection of things that are small but valuable to try to sell. And we'll figure that out for a while. So it's going to be quite a bit of the jewelry, one purse, and the matching wallet. And the oboe, I need to try to see if I can sell that. I don't even know how to price it. It's tricky. I was supposed to make a sale today on Marketplace. The person agreed to it. And then like half an hour before they were supposed to come pick it up and pay for it, they backed out. So that happens a lot when selling online lately. And it was great before COVID, but since it's been just like ghosting or people that don't mean what they say or whatever. I mean, sometimes I can sell things, it does work out, but you just kind of have to be patient that it's a bumpy process. So I try to sell kind of batches of things at the same time and then put a time limit on it and get rid of them. So I'm going to be donating after today, probably on the weekends. I will donate the vast majority of what's out here. Some of it is just trash, but I've got like some little drawer sets, kitchen stuff. Yeah, a decent amount of this is just going to get donated this weekend. I do need a little bit of time on the jewelry just to make the video. See, that catches me. This making videos slows things down. But if you're not making videos for things, just get it out. It makes a huge difference. So yeah, it's been hard to really be like, oh yeah, I breathe easier, because it's still here mostly. 80% easily is still here. I got rid of quite a bit of kitchen stuff. I can't remember what it was, but I had another opportunity kind of like that I was able to get rid of some stuff from the kitchen earlier, but no, that's gone. So I tend to donate to Goodwill because they are just the simplest to donate to. And here they're not turning people away. My stuff would often get mixed in with clients. I have a little bit of the client stuff in my stuff here too. So it was unintentional as well, but like I donated a bunch of bags from one person's house and then it turns out 3 books escaped. So they were riding around in the back of my car. So I pulled them out. Anyway, they get mixed in. So there's some books here that are not mine. They're actually from 2 different clients even. But it'll all get donated eventually. Sometimes I do the little free pantry here, and sometimes I'll do the little library system here too. The next question is, do I feel like an extreme minimalist yet? No. I didn't expect to, because the categories I'm doing are so isolated, and if I listed every category, it would be a lot. So I don't see that we've done enough categories to be able to, and especially because I haven't gotten rid of entire categories, to be able to say that I'm an extreme minimalist. No. I appreciate everything I've done. I think it was all good. And I highly encourage anybody else to try it too. Just imagine what it'd be like to be extreme and try it out for a while, for sure. Especially using that quarantine. Then you can be super brave, right? And most of that stuff is leaving, and I'll probably do it again, honestly. So, yeah. Do I regret anything I've already given away? Well, as I mentioned, I've barely given anything away, and so the answer is no. So far, I haven't regretted anything. Yeah. Do you think you can go further? In any particular category, yes. I think it's about having more information. And more resources, potentially, because if I have the money to outsource snow removal, for instance, I will do it in a heartbeat. I can't yet, but if I could, I totally would. So it's about resources. Same thing with the favorite movies and TV shows. If I had all the money in the world, I'd just buy them electronically and keep them digital. Totally. Did I realize something was missing as I went through the areas? And I would say that occasionally, yes. And I guess I did realize that in the games I was missing an actual full deck of cards with jokers. So I traded a poker deck that had no jokers for 2 pinochle decks, which are only face cards, right? So yeah, I guess, yes, I did have some missing items. And then in the jewelry, I really need like 2 little studs or something that are in kind of a copper or rose gold color to work well with some of the other earrings that I have that are either copper or rose gold. So I did kind of learn that a friend left me this white plant pot for the, just left it behind because we moved a plant from it, I think, or she brought it in case we needed it, whatever. That plant pot was left over, and I really like it. It's white, it's simple, and turns out I kind of like that. So I might swap my plant pots for white ones over time. I don't know. But that's just a preference thing, not a need. So there are a few things that it's like not an urgent problem to solve, but yeah, I kind of don't have the right thing. Did I find it stressful? And the answer is sometimes. Yeah. I mostly found it invigorating. So there were points where I was stretching for topics and like, how do I break this down? Because doing a bathroom and a kitchen, they're very distinct areas, and yet also everything that's in them is very focused, making those areas really easy to see results in, as well as easy to push yourself in. The jewelry was surprisingly hard for me. This is a category that I'm going to do a separate video on. That category was hard for me. So I would definitely say that one was challenging. And then every once in a while I had to reframe my thinking that, hey, no, we're trying to be aggressive, right? We want to see with how little we can get by with. So in the kitchen, I had a harder time going lower, right? It's like, I know I use this thing even if it is only once a year. And then the question was, well, could I get by without it, right? So I am, I think, overall very pleased, and it didn't hit enough percentage of categories of my house to get me to extreme minimalist, even though I would say I did cut 50% easy out of the entertainment center and 40% probably out of the bathroom. It was probably less than 30 out of the kitchen, but it was a lot more than I expected, having gone through that about 8 times already. I highly recommend going through this process if you're close enough to it. This is definitely for you're already minimalist and you want to see how far you can truly go. I found it very useful to think like, hey, I'm going to take on a roommate. And maybe that's actually in the same room too, right? Just to help you, like if a closet, okay, there's one closet for this room. How would we split it if we were going to split it? Or, you know, I have this bathroom that's supposed to be able to work well for 4 people. How would that work? Because there's tiny closets in the bedrooms, and then there's just this one little storage cabinet in the bathroom, but yet we all have the same kinds of things to deal with. So that kind of thinking allowed me to push further. Like, the point is to compete against yourself. Not really. It's to investigate, could you do more? Could you live with less? And have you really inquired about if this is truly the best way to do it? And not that you have to micro optimize every little knob, but it's good to test your assumptions about things. And that's what I found this practice good at. With the extreme minimalism, my goal was to go beyond the container limit so that there's empty space in the containers. And that's how I was thinking about it going through this challenge. And I would say it's valuable, it's worth doing, because you don't have to fill every space, and sometimes your brain just does it naturally and you're not really consciously thinking about it. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the series. If you haven't checked it out yet, I would. Each of the videos are kind of long, but feel free to skip around in them a little bit. but you just get to hear my thought process of why I was keeping what I was keeping. You could see where I got hung up, I think, pretty easily. And the end results. So yeah, I think probably I will, on my own, not recorded, hit these areas again over time. And I always have a donation bin in my hall closet. So in there, I think that's the handle for it there. And so when I run across things in my closet that don't fit or are worn out, I toss them in there anyway. So that's kind of the system I use on a day-to-day basis. So I just need to get better at, even while I'm doing these projects, I need to get the stuff out afterwards. That's huge, because having that corner back in my room is amazing. But right now it's all here in the dining room, and this does not feel amazing. So if you like this video, let me know. If you have some ideas for other categories you'd like to see, I'd also love to hear about it. And if you tried this yourself, please let me know. I also want to hear your story. So thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.